it's going to be it's going to have a strong impact on them because what Enzo Maresca is trying to achieve at Chelsea is creating um, a winning philosophy that the players buy into. And, there's no better way to get the trust of the players than win things. And, when you're trying to create that type of culture, if you can show that this is what happens when we do it, my way, and we keep working on it and we keep trying to get better and we buy into, what I'm trying to do, the playing principles, etc., then that helps with the confidence of the players as well, with the confidence of everybody supporting the football club. It helps. And I know it's not a massive competition, but created history yesterday by being obviously the first team to have a clean sweep on all the European competitions. That's something to be proud of because obviously I was part of the cup winning team and squad as well. So yeah, you feel a part of that history that they've created yesterday. And yeah, I just feel like obviously we had already finished in the Champions League, so I don't think it was gonna change, the recruitment plans for the summer and strengthening to be able to challenge in the Premier League. But it also brings an added belief. And if you remember when Jose Mourinho took over at Chelsea all those years ago, the first competition he won was the League Cup, and people sort of belittled that, everybody buying into the fact that he is a winner. And he was, that very first interview when he said, "I'm the special one," you couldn't take that comment lightly after he won a competition in his first season. I feel like, your bread and butter is the league. And obviously there's been a slow incline in getting back closer to challenging for the Premier League again. And I think the expectations for Enzo Maresca next season will be to finish higher than fourth again and be challenging, which won't be easy because you'd expect Man City to come back stronger. You'd expect Liverpool to keep on improving, and you'd expect Arsenal to be there or thereabouts as they are again. So to try and break into that three will be, very difficult, I believe. But there's a lot of work to do in the summer when it comes to recruitment and strengthening the team in depth.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
thank you.
I'd still look at Arsenal's achievements because your bread and butter is the league, and apart from Liverpool having, the season of their lives, exceptional season, Arsenal again, okay, coming second, but my bread and butter is what you do day in, day out, week in, week out in your league standing. And so for me, I feel that, okay, they've not taken away a trophy, but they've still been the most consistent London team, and that shows in where their standing is in the league.
Yeah,
A surprising one, when you looked at the lineup before the game and you see Tosin James and Colwill on the bench after the performance that they put on at Nottingham Forest, you think to yourself, what's he doing there? Is he overthinking this? But obviously, he sees more, as in, behind the scenes, how the players have trained. Are they a little bit, tired because of, the energy that they had to put into the game that they played in, which was of a high intensity against Forest. So you look at that and think, oh, what's going on here? But then when you see the effect James especially has when he comes on the pitch and the composure, I felt like Chelsea got their composure back through the leadership skills of James when he came on the pitch. And obviously Colwill again strengthens the back four towards the end when Badiashile, who I thought he had a terrific game, by the way, especially in possession. I thought, the lines that he was breaking when he was punching passes into midfield was excellent. And he has been known to, make a rick of that at times, give the ball away and put Chelsea in trouble. But I thought he was brilliant yesterday in that side of it. And I think the reason he came off was because of the yellow card that he got in the second half. Otherwise, Colwell might not have been the plan to come on, but he obviously comes on and makes Chelsea a little bit stronger again, to finish the game off. So I thought it was brilliant from Enzo Maresca, a brave choice to make, because if that goes wrong, if Chelsea go in 2 or 3 down and you've left out Tosin James and Colwill, you're putting your head on the platter, aren't you? So so it was brave from him to do that, but he knows his players better than anybody's with them, day to day. So you have to give him the plaudits for what he actually done on the night. I've not really, I've been in and around the Stamford Bridge this season and spoken to many people, and there's not been too many negative stuff said, to be honest, about the head coach. I feel like everyone's realize that this is a young group of players that are almost learning on the job, and it's going to take patience to them to get to their best. And I still feel Chelsea are probably a couple of windows away from challenging for the Premier League. And when I say challenging, I mean finishing first or second. I still feel probably this time next year, you'd like to think the players have got that bit more experience, that bit more belief. If we can win another trophy in that time or finish closer, finishing in the top three is obviously got to be the aim next season at least. I feel like the way that he's carried himself, he's been very honest from the off, about the squad, how he wants to play, and it's coming into fruition now.
Yeah, and
I feel like the players that have played the majority of the season need the rest. I think it's a competition that you can, bred in some young players, some fringe players that haven't had that much football. It can answer a few questions because of the high standard of the competition with the other teams in it. I feel like Enzo can use this as a tool to answer some questions about players for the future and where they fit in the plans going forward. Obviously there's internationals that have not had any rest this season, so you wouldn't expect them to play. They may well go on the trip, but I feel it's one for the fringe players and the younger players to get some experience being in and around the first